What's up, guys? I know this isn't my normal video, but remember on Tuesday when we did first reactions? Well, guess what? We also did some spoilers too. It is some cool people. It is a great collab. The video is at night inside of a car, so it's not the best, but the audio is right there for your beautiful ears. And let's not waste no time. Star Wars The Last Jedi spoilers. Roll that clip.
Hey!
Spoilers abound.
Seriously, no joke. The Last Jedi spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, turn it off now, pause it, wait till later, and
go watch the video we put out on Tuesday.
It's up.
Yeah. Because this is now, I don't know, probably like maybe Sunday or something like that. Give you guys a chance.
That's smart. Good idea.
Maybe like Sunday afternoon or something like that. Maybe give the public a opportunity.
Y'all.
Okay, straight up, Snoke. Whoa.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Whoa.
Wow. I did not see that coming, especially because I thought it was going to be a fake out. I honestly, they went for gimmicks in here, it never ended up being a gimmick. It always landed in a surprising, shocking way. And I was blown away.
I really telegraphed it well so it didn't come as such a shock. It wasn't like, where the hell is this coming from? It was such a great build, especially once he starts talking about kill everything. Like, just destroy it all. And we didn't get gray Jedis like I had predicted, but man, it's so much better than a gray Jedi.
I mean, in the middle, like...
We got a gray Jedi scene. Yeah. With that sweet fight scene where they were going back to back, taking care of them ninjas. I was about it.
I did not expect that. That's one of those things where it's like, whoa, hold up. Did me and my friend write this? Like, it's like, well, hey, why don't they both fight all those cool guys in red?
But speaking of that scene, there were a couple of moments throughout the movie where they used slow motion in a way to where it wasn't so much for like dramatic effect, but it was more for the audience getting a chance to live in that moment for an extra couple of seconds. And that was one of them. There was one near the end as well, but it wasn't like gratuitous. It was lovely. It was wonderful.
And again, it doesn't land as a gimmick, but what I really appreciate about this movie is the way it brings so many issues people have had with Star Wars together. Like, the idea of balance has been, from the very inception of Star Wars, is permeated throughout the series, but we never get a true sense of balance until this fucking movie. And actual balance within the Force for the first time in Star Wars history, and it's amazing.
And you have this point where, Yoda makes the point of like, look, you're always Yoda. He makes this point of like, you're always
Yoda, no less.
It's like do CGI.
And Frank Oz. And Frank Oz puppet Yoda.
Yes.
Hell yes.
And he's like, you always look into the future. Deal with now. Stay in the present. That's your problem. It's so much to learn, man. Rose is dope. Like,
Rose is so dope. I love Rose's character.
BB-8 is cool, but not cheesy.
BB-8 goes next level in this.
Dude, he is like so close to Chopper and being a murder bot in this movie, but it was just enough, just for the top of the ATSD to pop up and be like, "Yo,"
and the look they give, like, how is this even possible?
Especially like, whatever, murder ball.
This ship was my favorite part. Like, you realize that Chopper would probably also just sell people off if he needed to.
I would watch 4 seasons of a buddy comedy with BB-8 and Chopper.
Dude,
if that's what Filoni's working on next, I'm into it.
But yeah, when DJ looked at him and BB-8 was like,
hold up. We stole it. No.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you stole it.
I happen to be there. Benicio del Toro in this movie.
Yes.
I didn't even know he was going to be in this movie. Hadn't peeped yet.
That's good.
And his arrival was so spectacular.
And he had so many character traits in one little... Like, how long was he on screen? Like 10 minutes, if that?
Maybe 10, 15.
Yeah, he probably had about 10 minutes or so, and he shined. Like, nobody's whack in this movie. That's the thing that's dope. Like, there's no one who you're like, they didn't need them,
And also, as they're talking about this spark of hope, which I really, really enjoy, like the way they bring new hope into this film, the idea of the old influencing the new. You see everyone have a Luke Skywalker moment. Everyone has their one, like, I will be the solo standing and opening with Poe taking on the entire Imperial fleet to Finn at the end taking down the cannon one-on-one. Like, everyone has that one standalone moment and gets to be their own spark. And man, if that's not inspiring. And then whoever, there were like maybe 5 or 6 extras organizations working on this film.
Yeah, there's a lot.
You guys, we talk about representation so much, but can I tell you about seeing like a black-skinned fighter pilot? Can I tell you about the first 2 fighter pilots we see going out across the salt flat being women? Like, can I?
It was like this thing. It really does have it all. I know it sounds weird to say it, and it's kind of cliche to be like, this movie has it all, but it really does. Be cliche,
Michael. Be cliche, please.
I'm being cliche.
This might be the first Star Wars movie with a 5 out of 5 perfect rating. Like, I can't
this Star Wars is...
Dude, okay, to be fair, we did just get out of the movie, and we're riding pretty high. We're super hyped on it.
No, yes.
And I understand that, and I'm with you.
And I can already see you guys' comments. Yes. It is like, I can see you guys' comments already. Of course, you can nitpick anything to the end, but this movie is a movie that makes you want to go see it again the second it's over, and you have to give replay value some props.
And can we just talk about the visual aspect of it? Besides the storyline, the visuals of I mean, especially like the homages to Carrie Fisher, like especially at the very beginning, like you thought the story was going to go one way and it goes completely.
Dear God.
We're doing spoilers, so when that hand outstretches, that's when I first lost it. I was immediately in tears because the idea of her being eternal was cemented in that moment. They play it again multiple times. They talk about no one truly dies and all of this other stuff. But that moment of her like floating through space, being like an ethereal space angel, and then her hand just reaches out, I was like, this is it. This is the tribute Carrie deserves.
And it also cements how powerful or how much in tune she is with the Force. Yeah. Because, you know,
not a Jedi, but she has the Force.
You know, it's always shown her like, oh, she has an inkling here and there, and she can like feel things. But this showed that like, no, she can manipulate the Force.
She was unconscious and she manipulated the Force, like on a basic instinct level. That was crazy.
She is Luke's
during that, I'm back during the first Man of Steel. I had a moment where like buildings started blowing up, and I in my seat was saying, "What are you doing?" And I really hope, I don't know if I said it out loud or not during that scene, but I was like, reach out. Reach out. And I honestly don't know if I said it out loud or not. So I'm just going to live with saying that I didn't, because I wasn't kicked out.
It's the movie.
Sir, can you please be quiet?
Movie, everybody's good, man. You finally do get the distinction between kind of what it is to train in the dark and train in the light. We get a sort of satisfying, you know, situation with Rey's parents.
4.9 out of 5 for Michael.
No, it's 5 stars.
I love that. And the way that they did it. They didn't make a big deal out of it. It was like...
Do you guys think that that's like a red herring, though? That he was... Really? Okay.
I do. I think
they're just settling it in drawing that line in the sand.
And that's also a story of people who have such terrible childhoods going, I see all these people with their families. They're all so happy. I'm not happy. Those must not have been my parents.
Right.
So that story makes sense to me.
It was kind of echoed at the end by that little kid who had the rebel ring on.
Yeah.
Dude, that broom just whoop, everybody freaked out.
And the way he did it
as a lightsaber before.
Yeah.
Like
and
the way it shines just in the light.
Everybody in that theater went, that kid is me.
Instantly.
Yeah, because it was so casual. Like the way he did. So that means that
he's had it for a while.
He's had it for a while. He's been playing with the Force, and he's probably, hopefully, you know, now that he's got that legend, he'll go to the light side. Because, you know, being in the position that kid is in, he could easily go dark.
See, and this is the value of Disney taking this over. People were skeptical, like a big evil conglomerate but really they know how to put those touching heart moments in things, and that was definitely a Disney moment.
It was so beautiful. I also like the fact that he has the rebel ring on. Do we think this is where Ryan's going to continue the story? Does he pick it up with the little kid, or is he...
I think he might be... I think
that could be cool.
At least there'll be an homage to him, I assume, or like he'll show up at some point and we'll get an explanation.
He seems vastly important to me.
I think he'll show up in Ryan's episode 3, 2 or 3. But I think Ryan's, because of what we know now about Rey's parentage, I think his trilogy is going to be a Rey trilogy.
Interesting, because this feels like Rey's trilogy already. So
it kind of like, this feels like this is Rey's story, and I guess they're kind of...
They're making an anthology.
You know, ending Skywalker and kind of like going forward with Rey and Finn and Poe being like that kind of team, I guess. And I guess Rose now, too.
Or in Rose, too, and whoever they pick up in the 6th movie.
True.
Or the 9th movie, jeez.
Yeah, 9,
But there's... Either way, Rian Johnson, if nobody had the confidence in him to do more Star Wars...
Yo, this is...
They should have confidence
They
now.
better have confidence now, because we're getting it whether you like it or not. Yeah, what do you want?
Like, if you don't have confidence in Rian Johnson from here on out, I don't know what else to say.
I can't help you.
I don't know what to do.
I do have one more question for you guys.
Bring it.
So I heard some people talking as we were leaving, and some of them did not sound very satisfied with Luke's ascension, I will call it.
Okay. I am beyond satisfied with it.
Yes.
Because he saved the rebellion like he
and
did.
The way he saved it.
And the way he, oh my god, that was the coolest thing.
That was the best reveal.
You are a legend. You thought he was a legend before?
Well, no, because now people are like, he took a hail of cannon fire and still like all those stuff. I mean, the kids were telling the story, but that left me feeling more hope than at the end of Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Because at the end of Empire Strikes Back, they've got the whole fleet and they're looking off into another galaxy and they're heading in. But with this, it was, oh god, and especially hearing him seeing the 2 sons for the last time and then fading out. Also, this doesn't mean we're not going to see Luke in the next movie.
No,
they just showed us that Jedi ghosts are still a thing. Yoda showed up in this movie. Luke's going to be in the next one.
Yoda
without
shows up,
a doubt.
drops knowledge, and then he's like,
Dude,
I'm out.
If there was, I was hoping for just another hand on Yoda's shoulder and being somebody. Obi, Qui-Gon.
I honestly thought Obi-Wan Kenobi was going to show up at the end before we got to the dual sons.
Cool. I really wanted to see Liam Neeson just have
too.
I was hoping.
Dude, I'm with you on that one. We need a little bit more Qui-Gon.
I like that we end at the beginning. Those are my favorite stories because I feel like everything is a circle. And I really like the idea of him ascending to, like, we saw him become a Jedi Knight. We saw him become a Jedi Master. And now we've seen him come beyond, which is exactly what Yoda was saying. Like, everyone moves past us. The only way to sustain and continue that energy is for him to become a Jedi Ghost. And now he is one. And, like, will we see him fighting on a battlefield? Like, that's what I would really like, if we see some Jedi Ghosts on a battlefield. Disney or Ryan, if you care, like, listen. I think that would be awesome. But I was so satisfied with it because that scene, it felt like peace. It felt like just okay. I didn't. It wasn't hard to let him go.
And also, he didn't let Kylo win because he said it himself. If you kill me in anger, I am not gonna leave you alone.
And that scene when he was like, fire, more, you could see, like, Kylo was already like, okay, I'm bad. You know, and then he killed his dad. He's like, okay, I'm real bad. And then he killed Snoke, and we were like, well. And then he's like, nah, he's full evil. Yeah. And
it's not who he kills. It's just killing people. Yeah. That's all it's
like. The anger and like saying, like, yelling more and more, and like like you knew, like, this guy, he's twisted and he's unhinged, and he'll probably be his own undoing.
I don't even know how unhinged he is, which is why I like him as a bad guy.
He's honestly just taking what Joelle was saying before with Yoda was like, everyone evolves beyond us, and then he destroys the tree and all the knowledge or whatever. He's taking it to the next logical conclusion in a different way than Rey is. They're both trying to build something new. He's doing it in a way where he just gets control of the new thing. Rey's doing it in a way where she's giving the people control of it.
Which shows the true power of light and dark. I really like the subtle little undertones throughout this movie about greed and people being able to
with the whole Canto Bite.
I forget what it's called.
Canto Bite.
Canto Bite was such an amazing moment for me as a Star Wars fan because
it said a lot. In a short amount of time, it really said a lot.
And one of my only critiques of Star Wars for, like, ever has been, like, I need to see other worlds. Like, in a vast galaxy of multiple spaces, like, there's got to be some differentiation. And to see, like, a casino overlooking a beach, like...
Yeah, they gave us Monte Carlo Planet.
They did give us a Monte Carlo Planet, and it works. And
the super rich.
So satisfying.
After she said she wanted to punch a hole through it, they pretty much did that with animals, which is amazing.
And we're all of... I mean, I guess it's kind of a spoiler, but, like, we've got the Volptex and the Porgs, but we didn't get any of the, like, the horse animals in any of the lead up to the show. I love, dude.
Maybe they tried to hide them, I guess, for us.
Maybe.
It was
nice to have a totally something I hadn't expected.
Agreed. And my wife was raised with horses, and I know that this part is going to be her favorite part. I know it. I know it.
Yeah. This movie is great. Like
we barely even touched on
yeah, we haven't even
next
gotten
anything.
There's so many things to get like go deep over.
Guys, that opening though.
That was
just bombers coming out of nowhere and the tension building.
Hold on, I'm waiting to speak to Hux. Hold on. Is he?
Oh my God!
Is he on yet?
That was a sequel to to him and Kylo meeting, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And even getting them at the end, like, "Hi, I'm Poe. I'm Rey. I know.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, we got a new I know.
I was just saying, like, wow.
Okay. We got a new I know.
Tell me, all right, am I crazy?
Yes.
I thought there was gonna be a kiss with Finn and Rey for a second. Like the way they ran to each other, I was like, hold up, what? And I was like, oh, all right, that was cool.
It's weird though because they're only asking about each other, like throughout the whole thing. But I think this is it'll be interesting to see how they play it because they're kind of more like brother and sister. They were both looking for family. They weren't really looking for like a romantic kind of love. They were just looking for...
Finn was looking for romance because he was like, you got a boyfriend?
But he didn't even know.
He didn't even know. Yeah, true.
Look she gives at the end when he's taking care of
Rose.
Rose. Yeah.
Oh,
It seems like there's a little bit of what's going on here kind of thing. I don't know.
I think it's more of Rey like at the end of the first movie when Rey was looking after Finn and her having the thing of, oh, he must really care about her because I did the same thing for him.
Okay.
And maybe there's some jealousy there, but even if I don't,
they ain't got time for love.
They ain't got time for love.
They got galaxies to save.
Yeah, but also with Rey's new ascended like mind, like where her head is, I
she
think
looks
brother and
kind
sister
of at peace with it. Like I went off and did my own thing, but there was also kind of like at first it was kind of like oh she's noticing it and it's like all right, and then she was like you know what whatever, and then it keeps going.
Because the way they ran at each other, I was like oh. And I was like, oh, okay.
But they hadn't seen each other the whole movie.
And they were always just trying to get back to each other throughout.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind it if, like, we have a Rose-Finn relationship. I wouldn't mind it. Like, to me, at this point, it doesn't really matter what they're
because somebody's going to have Star Wars babies.
Right.
Like, someone.
Maybe, but there's love here. And I think that was kind of the
dynamic is the most
important. It was like, we've got everything we need right here. And it was just the love and the people. Like,
the love and the people.
Beautiful.
Oh, speaking of the love, not enough Maz in this movie. But
but the Maz we get,
and yet just enough.
Because it was like cow.
I love that we never even are in the same physical space with her. She's just her on the phone like,
what
it's just a dispute you don't want to know about it, but I have to deal with it. Now I'm taking off my rocket.
What she say about? She was like, he knows how to do everything or something. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, he knows how to do everything.
It's like, whoa.
Do you think that DJ was the guy she was talking about?
Yes.
That's interesting.
So I was curious as to the woman next to the guy in the red lapel, and she was the one noticing. So I thought it was going to be her.
Me too.
Yeah, and she just keeps that guy around as like a stooge to like.
to kind of get noticed and then.
Right. But,
so
and pay her bills.
Yeah.
Box hair was great. I loved her.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so, but I'm looking forward to DJ returning and seeing what capacity he does because again, in a balanced and light and dark side, he plays a really interesting perspective on war. The introduction of like people are out here just trying to get paid. They're not.
Yeah, and because he's like they blow you up today, you blow them up tomorrow. He was like it's nothing to me. You know,
that
he's like
ambiguous answer he gave when he was talking about this isn't right, but he's like maybe he's just like, he's like I don't know. So I feel like that's further down the line he's gonna end up helping somebody. He's kind of like on the Clone Wars. What's that pirate name?
Hondo.
Yeah.
He's like a more adult version of Hondo.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And that's
I just want a Hondo movie.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Me too.
a Hondo
great.
with him just in and out of trouble the whole time.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I'm trying to think all right, so the coolest thing that like really jumped out of the blue I did not expect was the way the way both of them like knew exactly we're gonna fight now. Like they knew like almost on cue, like Rey and Kylo were like it's like it was almost on cue where it's like okay, back to back. Yeah. It was
well, I mean, they got connected.
Well, communicating this the whole time. What I like is that we get to see the moment that Snoke gets surpassed. And it's done in such a subtle and quiet way. It's like, I see him turning it. I'm like, oh, bro, you you're not even seeing the right things anymore. Like he has surpassed you.
And
now
the
who's
overconfidence.
clouded?
The overconfidence. And man, it's because that was a cool fake out being like, I connected you too, stupid.
Because because they paired the scene of Luke and Leia like just sending out, reaching out to each other across the Force with the scene of the two of them, and that makes you go, oh, they're brother and sister. And then with that the flip,
Snoke,
I love
Snoke,
that.
like, it was me, stupid. I knew you didn't have the wisdom to blah, blah, blah. But once again, it's the overconfidence. See, bad guys, you always... Overconfidence is almost like the Bond monologue. It's like, it's almost that bad. Because he's like, see, he's twisting the sword. Haha. It's like, I'm going to kill you. This is like perfect example.
It's interesting because Luke actually alludes to that, but the Jedi having done that with allowing Palpatine to come up in their
height of their power,
and just completely destroy them because of their hubris.
Also, again, when we talk about fixing a lot of the things with the Star Wars universe, intermittence, I'm like, what the hell did you guys do?
Because there were a couple of people that were iffy about Palpatine, but they probably assumed he's just a dirty politician. And that's kind of how he was able to, maneuver. Because, Yoda wasn't too keen on him, and neither was Mace. But they were kind of like, he's probably just a
politician.
He's probably just a politician. They're all dirty. They're all corrupt. And no, he's super duper corrupt. All right? Super corrupt.
It'll be interesting to see now how they build up the Jedi Order. Like, it's really not something that exists anymore, but some of Luke's final words are, I will not be the last Jedi. We get that nice shot of Rey. It's interesting to see, will she create a new order? Is she going to take on Padawans? And all of the books are destroyed. Now, Yoda says that there isn't anything in those books that Rey doesn't already have. So how it forms.
When Finn was in the Falcon and he opened up the drawer, it looked like the books were in there.
That's what I thought I was seeing.
I wasn't sure, but that's what it looked like.
Books in there. I don't know what they.
They definitely look like those books, but I'm not sure.
Because the way that those were bound was super specific and very. They stand out very much. So that's what I. Okay, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Crap. Maybe I did say reach out.
Yeah. But I do like that moment in the Falcon where everybody's kind of together, where it's like, we're not the biggest rebellion, but they did seem like they had a camaraderie that maybe they'll be able to make it through.
It'll be interesting to see, too, because they also set up other rebels out there who did not answer the call. What are the consequences of that, and how do people react to it? They were betrayed. They just left to die. So I'll be curious to see how that interaction works. I really need to see Maz Kanata on the battlefield next time. Also, we got a really nice shot of a kyber crystal.
Dude,
broken sword, just a chunk of it.
Definitely
Broken. So does she build her own saber next?
And the way she wields that staff, I want to see her lightsaber.
That's what it is. It's gonna be a staff. Because Leia's words were, and now we rebuild. I think it's gonna be like a pike instead. But that would be showing the crystal and saying, and we rebuild, is like, she's building her, like, within the first half hour of episode 9, it's going to be staff, saber.
All right, cool. All right, guys, I know you at Disney listen to everything I say, so let's go in. Just go over me for a second.
Welcome back.
All right.
Good to see you again.
So, a staff pike with the lightsaber blade, but moving like Khalik in Soul Calibur.
Ooh.
Boom, you're done.
What a pull! What a pull!
That's a movie, or at least that's a cool scene. I don't know. You had to write a movie around that. You're like, take the cool scene and then write a movie around that. There you go. This is
Star
free
Wars.
from me. Star Wars.
Do you guys think we pick up right where we left off, or several? Because it seems like now rebuilding is not as exciting, and we need to get to a conclusion. So I'm curious as to how much space will be between episodes 8 and 9. Specifically, given that now Kylo has to be a leader of an army, which he is still very much a child in his actions. So I'm curious how, are his soldiers starting to fall away? Are they angry? Is it difficult to work with him? Or... How
many does he kill on a daily basis just out of anger? Both sides have to rebuild. That's the thing, is they lost a dreadnought. Presumably they had more, but they lost a dreadnought and their main ship.
Can we talk about that scene?
The light.
The quietness of that scene of when she actually, and then the visual, it went from an array of stars and lights and stuff to just silhouettes of like a massive ship being destroyed at light speed. That was amazing visual.
I've never heard a theater that quiet.
Yeah.
Just it felt like all the air was sucked out of your breath. It's some of the best space I've seen. I would say since 2001.
It was just cool.
Even Gravity doesn't quite get the empty vacuum of space.
Yeah, the shots were so empty.
Yeah.
Like the ships were so small compared to the vastness of
scale. Yeah, it was unbelievable.
And it was
also,
just
way
cool.
to carry that scale over from Rogue One. Rogue One's most impressive aspect was the fact that it finally gave us a scale for like Death Star to planet to ships, and it was done so expertly well. And that carries right over into this film. We get all of these huge, giant ships, even to the point of using a magnifying glass to see the little escape pods being blown up. Like it was.
All the little like things that they fill in, like the little plot holes, like you said, the magnifying glass. Like, oh, how can you see that? Or when Luke gives Leia the charms back, and then like they disappear.
And then they disappeared.
Like, because I knew that was going to be something people were going to talk about. And
wait a minute.
Yeah, they filled in the plot, like every plot hole that could have happened. They just filled it in an organic way where it didn't feel like it was just stuff in there.
Man, just great.
Laura Dern is not going to get enough credit for what she did in this movie.
Laura Dern is way dope on this.
She nails it.
Yeah, you can't say the other thing you're going to say, can you?
No, but the idea of like the best move being to do nothing, to just sit and wait, to try to lure them out. The idea of like being a leader sometimes is not being able to tell your crew everything. She plays that with such dignity and class. And when you finally get to see her be the admiral that everyone obviously knew that she could be, like her strapping into that chair, I was like, get it. Like it is go time.
And it's weird that in how little of the saga she will be in by the end of the day. How much Poe learned from her in such a short amount of time, and how much that's going to affect his character moving forward.
Like a huge character arc for him.
He already made a turn like immediately, like afterwards when they were in the salt fight, and he saw Finn was about to sacrifice himself. He was like, "No, pull back! Everyone, pull back! It's not worth it right now." But that's exactly what
he's the one who catches that Luke is giving them time.
Yeah. He's like, "There's a reason he's doing this." Yeah, it was a very quick lesson. He learned.
He became a leader.
What was the line? What was it? A lot of heroes died, but no leaders, or something like that.
Yeah.
And that was touching, man. That this movie really does have a lot. There's going to be a lot to pull apart, a lot to just. This movie is great,
which is something you don't usually see in big budget movies. It's incredible.
I have a very hollow question to ask you guys.
Bring it.
But is the Rey and Snoke Kylo. Is the Rey and Kylo fight better or as good as the Darth Maul Qui-Gon Jinn fight? Because that's my favorite Star Wars battle in history.
I never heard that about you. I didn't know that was
if I was going like of all time, the Maul Obi-Wan Kenobi final fight is my favorite.
I would have to say that one just because the sheer the way it was inventive. With again, we'd never seen a lightsaber like that before. We'd never seen it used like that before. And then the fact that he was killed. In that fight, but then in the expanded universe, the fact that he actually wasn't, I thought that was super cool. My personal thing, I'm going to go off on a tangent here because I'm wearing everything Boba Fett. There's a secret comic, or there was a comic portion where Boba Fett flies out of the Sarlacc pit. And he continues to live, and that's one of my favorite things. So to answer your question, I would say like the Qui-Gon Jinn or the Obi-Wan battle with Darth Maul was more impressive just because of the way we saw everything.
This is my favorite cinematic battle as far as like how it's shot.
And it was so out of nowhere too. Like none of us expected that.
Yeah, right. And then the camera work in this film was much better than any other Star Wars film I've ever seen. Like the way, like the shots, like when that lightsaber. When Kylo gets Rey's lightsaber and it goes through dude's head and like
that was
camera,
man,
like, everything like the camera work was so good. It was good.
Because they hit it perfectly because it's Disney, but it was still dope enough to work. You know, it was.
You want dope enough to work? Rey taking Kylo's lightsaber and just her holding it with it on, I was like, no, dear, don't do it. What are you doing? Like, it was super cool, but it's just like, no, there's some evil on that. Just brush it off a little bit.
Evil.
Oh, the brush off.
Oh, the brush off of his shoulder.
Oh yes, man.
My God.
Get that salt off your shoulder.
Like
just,
if you like all you did, and I mean, like, what was it? I think Obi-Wan said something like, "You're only going to make me stronger." Like, that scene, all it did is make Luke's legend stronger. Like, he was already Luke, the guy who, you know, turned around the Empire, turned around Darth Vader, killed the Emperor, blah, blah, blah. Now, he's Luke Skywalker, who did all that in the past, but just yesterday stood down, I don't know, 6 walkers, whatever, you know, and some other ships and
Kylo
stuff.
Ren.
And Kylo Ren.
And as far as the world knows, he could still be out there.
Also, have we ever seen a Jedi make someone hallucinate that hard? Like just
or like astral project that way or something?
Project themselves across the gap rather than using a hologram.
Only Snoke, because Snoke was batting people around via hologram. Like,
he was.
Well, Vader has choked. Palpatine has choked people over.
And Vader.
But I'm saying, but he's actually like astral projected a form where it wasn't like a digital like transmission. It was himself.
Looked like he was there.
Yeah,
and
the floating, floating on the. It was.
Well, and you have to think their swords at some point connect. You know
they do.
And there's like a physical struggle between the two of them. So there's definitely like either he infiltrated Kylo's mind enough to make him think he's hitting, or
no, because Poe saw him. Because everybody saw him.
They fired on him.
Yeah.
So then he is that shit.
The legend continues.
Luke is everything you thought he was and more.
Does that mean he manipulated all of those people's minds to see him instead of just focusing? Because we've all seen like, there's nothing to see here on like one guard, and that can be hard enough sometimes. He just did that to a whole squadron of people. That's incredible.
Yeah, I like old man Luke. I like his the fact that he cut himself off from the Force. But cinematically, the best thing this show did, reliving that moment,
the tension building, and watching the perspective of Luke. Like, is he a good guy? Is he not a good guy? Is he okay? So there's some ambiguity to this scene and the way they both perceived it, and it's like that's another thing about balance of light and dark. It wasn't a good scene. It wasn't a bad scene. It was just a moment that happened. Other things
and how each of them interpreted it.
Right. And there was a spark that lit the flame of a bunch of other series that happened. It's the exact same theme carrying over.
Yeah, that's because you do have that situation where, you know, Kylo's like, oh, everybody hated on me. And Luke was like, no, I went there. I could see the darkness in him, and it was way more than I ever thought it was.
We also got a flashback to Rey's vision from the first one, just from the other side of seeing the robot hand touch R2. And now we got to see exactly what all of that was. And there's more of that vision that we haven't seen. So... yeah,
and who knows about the others that he left with? Like, are they all
the
dead?
Knights of Ren.
Yeah, are they all dead? Are they, still around?
It's like
the way he treats people he works with, they might not be alive.
I have one final question for you guys, and that's, of course, with the passing of Carrie Fisher, IRL, and the long-living, standing legend of Leia in the movies. Because they said they weren't going to kill her off screen, I believe, if I remember correctly. They said they weren't going to do that to her. So she's still around. How do we manage this?
We've kind of talked about this on the show
a little bit. Yeah. Wait. Oh man, the show. As the credits were rolling and we saw the memory of Carrie Fisher, the arc that Leia had in this was so important, especially like technically we don't know if Kylo knows that she's still alive.
Yeah.
Because she shot him and was like, I gotta go before he started crying. But like I'm not against digital Carrie for a little bit.
That's what
because we gotta close the arc.
Like it's so close to
or we could do something where she's always like Leia's way too important, so we're always moving her between hidden safe houses and she's sending us
she's a hologram like Maz was in this one.
But, we bring her up in a hologram, but we can't see her in person because everybody's trying to kill her. She's the last because, Luke and Leia are the only ones that we have to kill. So we have to like keep moving her. She's in a hidden location, and this is her communication or her, I guess digital version. But that's a way you could kind of play it off. But it's
a difficult decision either way.
And every moment with her, they gave you a moment to kind of, just let go with her on
that
screen.
final moment of her just her eyes over her collars
Yes,
out,
man.
and these ships coming in full speed. That was it. That was my moment where I was just like, okay, Carrie, I get it. Like, you are the leader. Like, you are General Organa now. I don't know how they're going to wrap up her storyline, but I feel like it's monumental to Kylo's closure, or to the character, that they have some kind of interaction again.
I'd say Poe too.
Yeah, he clearly cares a lot about her.
Sure.
And you can see that she's sort of, kind of passing the mantle to him, sort of, just a little bit.
Look at her to decide, like, do we move? And she's like, just follow him.
He said it. Like, he said it. And now, so I guess that demotion is over. Nah,
he still got to work his way back up.
You were down to private. Now you got to come back.
Oh, jeez.
But there's a lot to love about this movie.
Chewie.
A lot.
The porg, like eating the porgs, and like, I can't.
And I mean, it was roasted to perfection too.
He already killed it. It's like, why? Okay.
I agree.
And it was roasted so perfectly too.
It's like, I gotta eat. There's no other animals on this island.
But him kicking down Luke's door was my favorite.
Yeah.
The idea of like two old friends, like, you have to help this girl.
Yeah.
Do you know Bonnie's going?
Help her.
There's nobody here.
Yeah, because like, we don't know what Chewie said, but he probably said something to the extent of like, look, been gone long enough. Han's gone. Someone I didn't, that I expected to see that I didn't, I thought they were going to like slide him in there, is Lando. I thought they were keeping him a secret because...
Well, he came out and was like, they didn't ask me to be a part of this one. He might be one of the people that they reached out to at the end.
Especially since this is so close to the last one.
Yeah.
You know, since this is so close, because when they said they were going to start from the last one, like, this is like the next day.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, they were not playing. Like, this... The first in this movie happened within what, like days? Within like
maybe, and this
like
is
within a week,
like less than 48 Earth hours. You would suspect, because they've got like 9 hours left of ship fuel. There's maybe a couple hours of.
They didn't have a chance to refuel after the encounter.
Yeah, so that's it would be weird for Lando to not show up.
Agreed.
But the way the First Order was rolling, like you really felt like, dang, like the rebels are on their own. Like, this is over for them. And I mean, you know, just like Luke's legend gets around, I'm pretty sure the word is getting around, like, the rebels got 5 ships left. Like, the rebels got, 10 ships or something like that. And like, they're right on their tail. Like, what am I going to do? What is my one ship going to do?
I thought this was going to end like Empire Strikes Back, where it was going to be so dark and so depressing. And so, like, what do we do now? And all hope is lost. What a great way to just be like...
to counterbalance that with Rogue One and how every character died.
You can't have Star Wars be depressing, guys.
Yeah, like they let the First Order definitely, on paper, won, but the rebellion kind of got the emotional win. Like, you know, because, I mean, numbers-wise, the First Order won this. But on the emotional side, Kylo didn't really get what he wanted. Rey has now leveled up. Finn has leveled up. Poe has leveled up. And Luke has become even more of a like galvanizing force for people's belief and hope in the Jedi to return.
He's more powerful than we could imagine.
Yeah.
He's the people's champion.
He's the people's champion.
Yes. So yeah,
this the people's eyebrow in this.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell, but under his shoulder he had a big like bull tattoo.
Oh man.
Dropping elbows on people.
Yeah.
Like he walks up to Kylo, pulls off his elbow, then throws it at him, and then
he like. Yo.
You smell what Luke is cooking.
It's porg.
It's porg. Finally roasted by the chef Chewbacca.
Luke, we keep going into more and more things, but the caretakers, they probably hate me. Yeah, they probably. Why wouldn't they?
What a great detail to add. Like, I feel like there's always such a desire to go, like, with these alien, like, other earthly creatures, and it's fun, but they really just integrated them into the story to the point where it was, like, just accepted what was happening.
That was just another plot hole. Like, how are these buildings still standing? Well, these caretakers have...
Yeah, these caretakers are here doing their thing.
The most pious.
Yeah.
They did dress like nuns.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
like nurses and nuns,
Oh, and the milking? Oh, boy.
That was just
and then it just looks her in the eye and she just can't look at it anymore.
This movie...
This NC-17 Star Wars movie.
This movie has it all. Like, everything you need. This movie has it. It's It's great, man.
I can't wait to see it a second time, but I still feel very strongly about my 5 out of 5. Like, maybe you guys will bring up some very huge plot points I didn't see. You guys are really smart, but man, for my money, like, this is a classic Star. I'm still not sure if I like it better than Rogue One. Rogue One for me was just so out of the blue, so incredibly different than any Star Wars film. But if you want a Star Wars movie that feels like a Star Wars movie,
and Rian Johnson said, hold my beer.
I got this.
I've got this.
And he did got it. And I'm so excited for his next trilogy. Like, thank you, Rian Johnson.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this movie.
Man.
This is
Thank you,
everything.
Rian Johnson.
Yo, it's dope.
So this has been a podcast.
This has been a spoiler podcast / video YouTube-ish, whatever. I don't know. This will be somewhere. Well, you're already watching it, so it's somewhere. But yeah, it's this. Wow.
Anyway,
share your thoughts
movie is
below.
great.
Yes, let us know.
Comment below.
People about this. We have to keep this a secret for the next 5 days. Like the one.
I have to stare my wife in the eye, and she's gonna ask me how was it, and I'm gonna be like, I can't tell you.
It's like all you can do is smile.
It's like, when do you want to see it?
Soon. We have to see it soon because we're gonna be talking.
Oh man. Oh yeah. Before we go, where can everybody find you guys online?
Yeah. I'm Joelle Monique. You can find me all over the internet at Joelle Monique and every week at blackgirlnerds.com.
I'm pretty anonymous, so
That's a sweet handle.
Yeah.
Pretty anonymous.
Sweet handle.
I like
if
that.
I want you to have my number, you have it. That's how you can find
There you
me.
go. I'm Mark B Donica. You can find me on Twitter and all social media at Mark B Donica. I miss talking Star Wars with you, Michael.
Yeah, man. It's
The Alliance lives.
And before we bounce, Alexis, we love you. We miss you. I wish you could have been here. But you can find me at OneYoungsta, which is ONEYOUNGSTA.
Hey.
That's right. That's right. So, guys, man, I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your comments down below. We're chilling. This is too dope. Just go see it again.
May the Force be with you.
Yes.
Always.
Peace.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Follow everybody on their social media and all of that good, lovely stuff. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you and peace.